All right, today we're going somewhere most people never get to see. We're heading behind the security gates to explore one of the most high-stakes driving environments on the entire planet. This is not your daily commute, believe me. This is a world where you are driving just feet away from aircraft that cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, just picture this for a second. You're driving along, and the other car on the road weighs over 400 tons, and it can't exactly slam on the brakes. That's what it's like driving airside. The normal rules of the road, they don't just get bent here, they are completely rewritten. One wrong move isn't just a fender bender, it could be absolutely catastrophic. So how in the world do airports keep everything moving safely on the ground? Well, it all starts with a very special permit.
And that permit is what we're talking about today, the Airside Vehicle Operator's Permit, or as everyone calls it, the AVOP. You can think of it as your passport to this hidden world, the one that keeps the entire aviation industry humming. It's the key to our little adventure on the airfield. So, what is an AVOP really? Well, it's an official certification from the airport. But look, the most important part of this slide is that last sentence. It is not an automatic right. This is not just some extra stamp on your driver's license. It's a sign of immense trust and huge responsibility, and it's only given to people who can prove they can handle this incredibly unique environment. And who are these people? It's a massive range of folks, and they're all doing absolutely critical jobs. You've got the ground crew guiding in the planes, the engineers doing vital maintenance checks, the fuelers, the catering trucks, the baggage handlers, the list goes on. They're all the lifeblood that keeps an airport running, and they all need an AVOP to do their job. So how do you actually get one of these? I'll tell you right now, it is not like a quick trip to the DMV. Getting an AVOP is more like a multi-stage quest, and it's designed to weed out anyone but the most competent and knowledgeable people from getting behind the wheel airside. And the path is tough. First, you need the basics, right? A valid driver's license and a security pass. Then your boss has to prove that you actually need to be out there. And after all that, the real work starts. You've got mandatory training, then a very difficult written test. You often need to score an 88% or higher to pass. And if you manage that, you've still got a practical driving test on the airfield with an examiner watching every single thing you do. Okay, so let's say you're on your way to getting the permit. Before you can even think about the rules of the road, you have to learn the map of this strange new world. The airside is split into very distinct zones, and each one has its own level of control and its own danger. And this brings us to what is probably the single most critical thing you have to understand, the difference between movement and non-movement areas. The non-movement area, that's like the aprons where planes park. It's busy for sure, but it's not directly under the thumb of air traffic control. The movement area, though, that's the runways and taxiways, that is the exclusive domain of ATC. You do not go there without explicit permission, period. And this slide just shows that difference perfectly. On the left, you've got a typical apron. It's a beehive of activity, all sorts of ground equipment buzzing around. On the right, you've got the super regulated world of the movement area with these very clear, very specific markings. They are two completely different universes, separated by just a few feet of pavement. Now, let's zoom in on some of these critical markings. You see this pattern? 4 yellow lines, 2 solid, 2 dashed. This is a runway holding position marking. It might just be the single most important line painted on the entire airfield. It is a hard stop. You never, ever, ever cross the solid lines towards the runway without getting direct clearance from air traffic control. And if the lines on the ground aren't enough, you've got signs. See that red background? Just like on a city street, red means stop and pay attention. But on an airfield, a red sign is a mandatory instruction. It almost always marks the entrance to a runway or another critical area, and it means you need to get on the radio and get permission from ATC before you move another inch. And some signs, well, they're just universal. This one doesn't really need a special training course, does it? Do not enter. The message is simple, and it is absolute. Following these signs isn't a suggestion. It's fundamental to keeping everyone and everything on the airfield safe.
Okay, so you've learned the map, you can read the signs, so what are the actual laws of the land here? Let's dive into the airside rules of the road.
First thing you need to know, everything is slow. The general speed limit is usually just 30 kilometers an hour, which is about 20 miles per hour. But the second you get close to an aircraft, that drops to a walking pace. Every move has to be slow, deliberate, and cautious. There is absolutely no rushing when you're working around a $100 million airplane. Next up, right-of-way. It is not a suggestion box. It is a strict, unbreakable hierarchy. And at the very, very top, the undisputed king is the aircraft. always. Then you have emergency vehicles, airport ops, and so on down the list. The rule is simple. It doesn't matter what you're driving, you always give way to anything that's higher up on this list than you are.
Let's just say that one more time, because this is the golden rule. This is the one thing you can never, ever forget. It doesn't matter if it's moving, if it's being towed, or if it's just sitting there. Aircraft always have the right of way.
And that brings us to the most intense part of the job, interacting directly with these giants. This is where your situational awareness has to be cranked up to 100, and where you have to understand the language the aircraft are speaking. And a huge piece of that language is the plane's anti-collision beacon. If you see that flashing red light on the top or bottom of a fuselage, that is a massive warning sign. It's telling you that the engines are on, or they're about to start, or the plane's getting ready to be pushed back from the gate. It's a universal signal that means stay clear. Now, around the parking stance, you'll see lines like this on the ground. It's called an apron safety line. That red and white boundary is so important. When a plane is moving into or out of a gate, no vehicles, no equipment, nothing is allowed on the red side of that line. It basically creates a mandatory safety bubble for the aircraft's wings and engines.
You know, earning the AVOP is just the first step. The real test is keeping up that high standard of safety day in and day out. This is the ongoing responsibility of every single person with a permit to protect yourself, your coworkers, and of course, the flying public.
But what happens if you don't? What if a driver makes a mistake or gets a little too comfortable and breaks one of these critical rules? Well, as you can probably guess, the consequences are very serious and very fast. A lot of airports use a demerit point system, just like this one. So a smaller infraction, like blowing through a stop sign, might get you 2 points. But look at the big ones. Failing to give way to an aircraft or entering a runway when you're not supposed to, that's an automatic 6 points. You rack up enough of those, and your permit is suspended or just plain revoked. Game over.
So how do you stay safe and keep that permit? Honestly, it just comes down to avoiding these common sense mistakes. Put your phone away. Never, ever get complacent and skip your pre-drive vehicle checks. If you're lost or you're not sure what to do, just stop and ask for help. And always, always be on the lookout for foreign object debris, any little piece of trash on the ground, and report any accident or spill immediately, no matter how small you think it is.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. The job of an AVOP holder is one of the most important roles at any airport. Long before a pilot even thinks about their pre-flight checklist, the safety of every single passenger's flight has already started. And it starts with the professional, diligent work of the people on the ground. It begins with you.
For free AVOP practice test, you can either click the link in the description or simply scan the QR code on the screen.